Hello. I, like many others, I'm sure, saw the Tricia's Pomander weapon in update videos about the new Elden Ring Convergence update and thought, dang, this looks really cool. I'd love to use that. So I made a perfumer build specifically to use it. And then it turned out to be very difficult to get. Um, this weapon, extremely cool because it is like a normal hammer, but the special attack lets you switch the different elements: lightning, frostbite or magic damage, frenzy, and regular flame. It's got normal hammer moveset, I assume. I don't think I've actually ever used a hammer, but look at that. The heavy attacks spread stuff out. And holding the special attack does this. Just like the Nox mace. So that's extremely cool. And I assume a lot of people are going to want to try this weapon, but it's hard to get. You are given this map with the 5 things that you need to create it, but this is not the hints aren't great. Honestly, they're not fantastic. So I'm just going to real quick show you guys where you can find everything, because if a guide like this had existed when I tried to get this weapon, it would have saved me probably like in a solid hour of wandering around. So the first thing you're going to want to do is run through the Castleborn village. If you're new to the Convergence, this is a brand new whole area leading up to Castle Morn. Extremely cool, extremely fun. Lots of perfumers, pages, and misbegotten that I am going to run past. I can take some damage, that's fine. I don't even remember what this is. Rune. And what you're looking for is this gazebo over here. You reach this gazebo, and normally there would be a little item sitting here, which would be 2 things when you pick it up. The map that I've already shown you, map of Tricia's secret, and a broken perfumer's censer item. The censer item is not something you can do anything with when you get it, but you then have to go on a whole quest across the map to find elemental essences. Each of the weapon's elements has like an essence somewhere on the map, and finding all of them lets you go to Hugh in the round table hold to craft the weapon. So the first essence that is like easy to get is right over here. Lightning essence. I've already collected it, but it would just be right here within this special pot. You would get it. Number 2. This one, the map says within the village afflicted by the frenzy flame. I can even show you within the village consumed by frenzy. That's not technically true, actually. I spent like 10 minutes running around in circles within here, desperately looking for the frenzy essence and just not finding it. Killed all the enemies, circled the houses. It's not a very big area, so I don't know how I thought I had missed it, but it isn't actually specifically within this village. It is actually up here, past the village to the left, surrounded by Miranda sprouts that inflict frenzy, right over here. The next thing you're going to want to do is get the frostbite one, which also really messed me up because the hint is a lie. It says next to the cemetery west of Carrier Manor. I don't know about you, but there's only one cemetery near Carrier Manor, and it's on the east side. It's got the Royal Grave and the Red Wolf. This is like the Three Sisters area, but I wouldn't consider that a cemetery by any means. And also just sort of the wording of next to was a little confusing for me. So I did run through the entirety of Carrier Manor to get to the Three Sisters area after I had exhausted the cemetery, and neither of them had what I was looking for, and I was deeply confused. As it turns out, right over here is an elevator that you can take up to the Three Sisters region without having to fight any of the bosses in the new Carrier Manor. And that's still not right, because over here, dang, well, I might die right now. That would be funny. This is the Frostbite essence right over here. It is by the elevator that has been added. This is the cemetery they were talking about, which, if I'm being 100% honest, I don't remember from the base game. I don't think I've ever seen this little cemetery before. So I guess technically the hint isn't a lie, like I said, but I think most people, when they hear cemetery near Carrier Manor, they're going to assume the one with the royal grave Everjail, and that's not what it is. It's right over here. And I would not have found this if I hadn't posted on Reddit asking for help. The last one, pretty easy to find. It's by the Impassable Great Bridge. To get here early game, there is a pretty easy set of warps you can do. Fort Height has a teleport to Fort Jail, which has a teleport to right here. Very easy way to get here. And then the Fire Essence is right over here by this Omen Killer, who I don't want to deal with right now. Yeah, once you've gone across the map and gathered the 4 essences, as well as the busted censer from Morn Village, you just approach our good friend Hugh and speak with him. There would normally, if you have everything in your inventory in between Cell and About Roderica, there would be an option to repair Tricia's Pomander, and that would grant you the weapon. So this is like, I really like the idea of like following clues in a map to find pieces of a weapon. I think conceptually the method of getting this weapon is extremely cool, and the weapon you get is especially cool. The fact that it can switch between elements is insane, and I just love the perfumer aesthetic, so I'm glad to have like a melee weapon that is specifically for it, in addition to the perfume bottles from the DLC. But the way these clues are written, it's a little bit confusing to me, especially the Carrier Manor one. I could not have found that without help. I did not know there was a little cemetery of graves with runes in them. I really thought that West was a typo, and it was in the graveyard. Most of the other ones were pretty easy. Saints Bridge and the Impassable Great Bridge I found really easily. The one in the Frenzy Flame Village, it did take me a while, but I found it eventually. So yeah, hopefully, somebody watches this, gets some help on finding all the stuff for this weapon. It's very cool, upgraded with Somber Stones, and I really am enjoying using it. It's mostly just a pretty basic hammer, but the fact that, one, the fire thing applies like a damage over time, the lightning one, I think, just has slightly higher base damage, and the Frostbite and Frenzy ones have status buildup, is just really cool. This is such a sick weapon art. I know that the Nox Mace already had it, but the fact that the charged heavy attacks like spray out spark, it's just a really cool weapon, and I'm glad that it's considered like a legendary armament and it has this whole quest to get it. It just is unfortunate that maybe I'm stupid, but I had a lot of trouble following the hints. So yeah, I hope this is able to help some people out and enjoy this very cool weapon. Bye-bye.